we will go for the hands-on practice, right? So first start with the introduction. What's the data science? What's the machine learning? And this is my introduction. I'm tutor and researcher, having expertise in different technologies, Power BI, Anaconda, MySQL, right? And then we must know like why we are studying artificial intelligence, why we are moving towards machine learning, and most of the IT industries and non-IT industries are moving towards machine learning and deep learning, etc. Right? So let's take an example here. Amazon is giving it's replacing day by day, it's replacing their human power into unmanned aerial vehicles. They are delivering products from one position to another position, from source to destination. The the address they are taking help of, to find the address they are taking help of this one, a Google map, and they are tracing their destination and delivery, right? So on the basis of this AI applications or IoT devices, so many companies have removed non-IT candidate. Reason being, the same task has been done either by robot or some other companies. All right. So this is the another part where we are dealing with the right. So can we take the another example of Netflix? What is data science? Data science is everywhere. We are already using this technology. Netflix is kind of case study where personalized streaming experience is there. They are sending videos relevant to us, our choice. They are optimizing content searches, they are making the content better and understanding user behavior. What's our cup of tea? So they are like, suppose I need Tamil movies. I like most Tamil movies. So in the next time, Netflix will give suggestion for Tamil movies only. If I would like to watch like patriotic movies, all right, or some devotional kind of movies, so it will suggest that kind of flavor on my screen at very first level. So we have discussed so many things here, and the next part we are going to discuss is unmanned aerial vehicle, where we are having so many cameras inbuilt, right? They are equipped, this vehicle is equipped with more than 8 or 16 cameras to perform computer vision projects, to perform different itineraries, different directions, reading red light, green light, and going towards one direction to another direction, right? Then we can go for the human help, like how this technology can solve real world problems. That's the question mark, right? This is the main point we have covered here. This this robot is saving life of several soldiers there. You have seen the war in between Ukraine and Russia. They are they are devoting so many candidates, so many soldiers day by day. If they would have replaced their soldiers by robots, certainly they would have some kind of this saviors, their soldier savior, right? So many applications they are there, like, and you can see that data science demand is increasing day by day. The average salary for this is 7K, right? It depends upon your competency, your hands-on practice, your sessions, and then your capacity also. So the demand for data science is decreasing day by day. It's a 7 lakh per annum for IT industry, and it's increasing day by day, right? So when we talk about this technology, which is having basics and fundamental, right? So we are covering several topics, including Python, including scripting language. This wonderful language, which is most means easiest language in the world, is used by Google, Yahoo, YouTube, and many Linux distribution games and applications, right? So as far as other giant companies are concerned, we are having this NASA, YouTube, Sid Meier's Civilization, Lucasfilm, or some BitTorrent. They are already using this language, this technology for very long time, right? So we can see that the Python is again like how to install Python in your system, right? And how this Python interpreter will work, right? So let's go back to the interpreter, right? So let me check my Google here. So it's our Google point, right? So inside the Google, we are going to search our Python Jupyter, right? Or you can search for Python official site, right? So this is the python.org. So in this site, we are using the function definition, documentation, you can see, right? If you want to download the latest version, this is for Windows, Python 3.11, 11.4, right? This is for Windows 7 or earlier, right? If you want to download the means earlier version or previous version, you can see the stable release or the previous version are also here if you have lower version of Windows, right? The second option for our Python is Anaconda, right? So these two options are offline version, and we have these two flavors for free distribution installation, right? This is used for data science, AI, and ML packages. We can download here, right? And once you will download this platform or this interpreter or navigator will look like this, where it comes with several packages, and we have Jupyter Lab, Notebook, PowerShell. Of course, we are not using all of these, but we will be using only one, which is offline platform again. If you are asking for input, it will give that Jupyter Notebook only. So this is the launch part, right? We are going to launch this one, and then we will find or we will see this kind of platform, right? This platform is ready to use or ready to run your code, right? So does anyone have any? So we are discussing, first we are going to discuss the basic variables and data types, right? What are the basic data types, right? So basic data types are, we have integer, right? First is called integer, like it's a whole number, right? And then we have float number, which will consist my integer point, like decimal values, right? Suppose a whole number might be number of candidate in a company, right? Of course that might not be in decimal, in the fraction. Float number means we can have this floating value, like my age, of course it might be in decimal, my height, right? My salary, right? So it can be in float only, right? The third we have is string, and this is string would be hello text line. Suppose I want to send any message to any candidate, so it will consist character of array, or means here we have each character. H is a character, space is a character, T is a character, and G is also a character, right? Here we have everything in the character itself, right? So this is the entire character of string of character, right? Second we have, next we have boolean, and this is true, and this is none is equal to none, right? So let me run this code. So you will find this integer. If you will get the integer point, you will find the output of this one, right? If you will check this float value, which is in the fraction part, right? So we will get output of this one, right? Similarly, you can check all other numbers here, right? So what others we have? We have arithmetic operations. What are the mathematical background upon it, right? So we can go for addition here. Let's say suppose Python gives simple statement for addition part. We need to give addition of 5 plus 2 and then it will give 5 plus 2, right? If I'm going to subtract this part, the subtract is 5 minus 2, and if I display the value of this division, the Python will give the subtraction of this value. If you want to multiply this value 5 asterisk 2, and this will be multiplication of first and second value using this asterisk value. Here you can see 10 is the output of this multiplication. When we are using division part, so this would be 5 divided by 2, and this division will be displayed on the screen, and we will be getting 5 divided by 2, right? Apart from these four these four operators here, for respective terms, we have plus, minus, asterisk, and division part. We have other operators, exponential. This is called exponential. This exponential is 5 double asterisk 2, right? So exponential cut C cut V and 5 raised to the power 2, which is 25. If you want to check 3 raised to the power, let's say 4, so it will give 3 3 are 9, 9 9 are 81. So this is the exponential when we are using, this is the power, you can say in either word, when we are using double asterisk part, right? The next part operator we have is floor division. So what it is floor division? When we have double asterisk 2, and let me print this operator with this variable, we are assigning this entire statement using assignment operator is equal to, and then to the left variable floor division, and let me print this one. This is the divider point, right? Suppose I'm having 10 and 10 double 3, so this is the 3, right? So 3 3 is 9, and we will getting remainder 1. Suppose I replace this 10 by 20, so I will getting 6. So 6 3 is 18, and 2 will be remainder, right? So this is the choice when we need dividend part. So what if we need somewhere modules, right? So modulus. So modulus is what? 5 percentage 2, and this would give the remainder of this value. In case we need 20 percentage 3, so it will give 2. 3 6 we have seen 3 6 18, and 2 is remainder, right? If we are using, let's say 7, and you can see 7 to the 14, and 6 is remainder, right? Similarly, we can go for logical operators also. So logical operators are also used in upcoming sessions, and we are going to check this AND operator, right? So what is the AND operator? Let me copy this one, and this is something when we have true and false, right? And let me print this AND operator, and here you will find when both the conditions are true, then only it will print true, otherwise it will print false. This is the property of AND operator, not the Python or Anaconda part of view. This is the background of logical operators. We are using this true spelling as a caps lock. In case if you are writing true in a small, of course, and you run the code, of course, it will give not define logical operators error. It will throw an error on your screen. You will have to capitalize each word first word in the true or false both, right? Likewise, we have and or operator. When either any one, like either first or second condition is true, we have to write or here, then the output is true. When both conditions are false, then only it will display false there. This is the property of or. Again, we are not going to summarize that part, but we are simply using the direction there. Then we have not operator. What is the not operator? It is just reciprocal or just opposite my this one, not true, just opposite my value. If it is true, it will convert into false. If it is false, it will convert into true, right? So this is the conditional operator, and we can go with the different aspect. Okay. So in the next part, we have comparative operators. So in the comparative operators, we have greater than, right? So what is greater than here? So greater than is when 5 is greater than 2, right? When this condition is true, so let me print this condition here. So here you can see this first part, or the very right hand side, I can see the condition itself. 5 is greater than 2. It's going to assign to the greater than. If it is true, it will give true, right? So let's say I'm giving any false condition, that is 21 is less than 3. Is it less than 3? No. So it will give false on the screen. Similarly, for the next comparative operator, I can go for less than. So this less than will again print true or false only. When this condition will be true, then only it will print true, otherwise it will print false. This is the property of my statement, right? Now you can go for the conditional statement in different ways also, right? We can go for elaboration part, right? So in the first item, or in the first condition, at the first condition in the condition statement, we are going to deal with if statement, right? So inside the if statement, I'm going to take any variable. Let's say my age is 19, right? And I'm going to check if my age is greater than 18, then it will print adult, right? This value is, like, this person or this candidate is adult, right? Otherwise it should print no adult, right? So in the very first condition, we are checking the condition value. First is the given age from the keyword is greater than threshold value, or define certain condition. If it is true, then only it will give. So this condition is true for my case, so it will give print. You can see this operator is called colon, and after this colon, if you will hit enter, so you will find this space. So what do you call this space? This is called indentation. Indentation. This is being asked in the question paper. What is indentation? Indentation is the domain or the space given by Python in order to define the domain of any operators or any conditional statement, right? Suppose I'm going to print Sachin outside this without the indentation, right? So it will first check the adult part and then it will print the indentation, right? This is the significance level of my print value, right? In case I need some another value or some another part, so what I'll do, I'll using if else condition, right? So inside the if else condition, I'll use, let's say my age is 12 and this is again going to check my print adult. If it is not adult, then it will use else there, right? If you can check the indentation, correct indentation, you just delete this content and just hit run. You will find this is the correct position for my next print statement. So I'll write not adult, right? So you can see if this age is 12, I'll give adult 12. This is not true, right? 12 is not greater than 18. So it's going to going to jump to the next condition, which is apart from true, going to false condition. So in case of false, it will choose not adult, right? Now I'm going to check in either way. Suppose we are writing age is equal to input, right? So what is input here? Input is the keyword where we are using enter your age. We are asking from the keyboard, right? What is your age? If you will run this code, it will ask your keyword. Like if you enter any ATM machine, it asks you to enter your pin, right? It asks you to enter your money to withdraw, right? So we are asking, it's asking your age. Let's say my age is 15. So it just assign 15 to my age variable, right? In the next case, next line, next code, if you print this age, it is just 15. And you can see this code here. This code is showing this 15 age format of string, right? But I don't need a string because I need some calculation, comparative operator, plus, minus. So I'll convert this entire string value because by default this input takes as input. I'll take integer value. So I'll just hit enter and take 15 again and print age. Now you can see this is not including quotes around it. This means this 15 is integer. Now I'm going to remove this part here. If I check this part, here you can see it's printing not adult because currently my age is 15. If I'm going to run this code again and now I'm going to print my age, let's say 38. So here you can see this age is 38 and if age is greater than 18, now this is true, 38 is greater than 18. It's showing you are eligible to enter or to ride anywhere. So it's going to print this adult, right? What if I'm using this if else condition, right? If and then if and then else condition, right? If this age is greater than 60, I'll be using the senior citizen. I need more partition, more verification, right? So I'll using senior citizen, right? In case of next part, if this age is greater than 18, so I'll be using print this one greater than 18 and age is less than 60, right? So in this case, I'll use the let's say young, right? Or in either choice, I'll take it not adult, right? So let me run this code again. Input, enter your age. Let's say I'm going to print like 5. My age is 5, right? I'm going to run this code. It's going to check. It's printing not yet, right? Right? Then I'm going to enter your age. Let's say my age is 65. So this is going to enter senior citizen, right? So this is the senior citizen because this is beyond 60 years old, right? So you can print or you can check any condition there as per your need, as per your condition verification part, right? Okay. So we have covered this if else condition, and then we are perfectly fine with the else if, right? So the next part we are going to cover this loops, right? Of course, we will be covering these loops in upcoming sessions also, but this is the basic fundamental where we will be using for loop, if loop, and another, right? So let's take, we want to write same operators, same thing so many times, right? So for example, I want to print my name 10 times. So should I written print, like let's say I want to print this Sachin 10 times, right? This is the first time, and if I print the same statement 1 2, so it will 2 time. If I'm going to print this condition again, it's a 4 time. So suppose I need to print this the same statement 15 times. So should I write print 15 times? No, Python doesn't do in such a way. Or you want to perform some mathematical operation or calculation 100 times. So do I need to write the same piece of code 100 times? No. We have some shortcut for this. This is called iteration. For I in range. So this is number of times you want to repeat your task. So Python will repeat this range 10 times, and when you hit run, you can see this Sachin is printing 10 times. Or if you don't want to count manually again, so you can print the value of I, which is counter for R. So for is again for I, like for this variable I, which is counter starting from 0 by default, and it will reach, or the upper condition for this I will be this condition, right? In range means we are defining the particular value here, right? So for I Sachin, and you can see it's going to start 0 till 9 less than 10, because it will be whole number. If you want whole number as 10, so of course it must start from 0 ending with 9, right? So this is our summarizing part we are going to discuss here, right? If you want to show 1 to 10, so what you can do, you can go for I plus 1, and then you can see the numbers are starting from 1 and reaching till 10. In contrast, if you want to print the same number 25 times, so I'll do just one change here, replace 10 by 25. That's it. The computer itself will perform the same task 25. So by computer, I mean by compiler of Python, right? So you can conclude this entire repetitive work within the single change, right? It will perform the same task there, right? So the another part for this loop is called while, right? For while condition, we have some I is equal to 0, and then while I is less than 10, again we have semicolon, and you will just notice that when I am going to hit here, hit enter here, the cursor is moving at the very start point. But if I hit enter at this point after this colon, it will give some indentation, which is space or which is domain for my while loop, right? So I'll write print here and print, let's say, hello Tekla. All right. So this is the number of terms we are going to perform, right? So if it is taking like infinite times, then you will have to stop this one, right? Then I'll have to write the upper condition, which is the I is equal to I plus 1, right? It's going to increment that number of times every time, right? Here you can see it's printing only 10 times this hello Tekla, right? Again, if you want to print the index number for this, so I'll give I plus 1, and then it will give the index number at the starting, right? If you write I only, it will start writing 0 to 9, right? So our point of discussion is there are two ways to repeat any loops or any iteration. First is for loop and second is while loop or while condition, right? And one more thing that's the relevant to the print function. You can see this print is can be more than one value. This is my this indentation. Wherever I'll find this indentation after this while loop, while statement, I'll be finding the like this while this domain, right? Let's say Sachin Saxena, right? Let's say this is the second statement, right? I want to print the second statement within the second loop. All right, can you see this one hello Teklang and one Sachin Saxena, two hello Teklang, two Sachin Saxena. So blindly they are printing two statement 10 times. But if I remove this statement or just cut X and just hit enter and remove this indentation and come outside the while loop and print the same statement, you will find what is the output now. Here you can see all these statements under this domain are printed, and finally my compiler or cursor will move to the last printing and then value of I, which is 10, and 10 plus 1 11, and then this statement will be printed out only one time because it's not under the repetitive condition while loop. It's not under the for loop or while loop, right? So this is the beauty of this one, right? Okay, no. So we are going to define the next part, which is function, right? So for function, we use DEF, which is definition. So let's say I'm using the Ron. So Ron is any name, or Jyoti, it's my like predefined function, right? For this Jyoti, I'm writing round bracket. This is called round bracket. This name is given by me. This is the defined like predefined keyword, and space, then my keyword, and then round bracket, and then colon. When you hit enter, then you will find print, and this print is first session of DS, right? This is just printing this one, right? So this is called function definition. We have defined this function, right? So let me go for function calling. That's the second part of this function. We are going to call this function. How to call this one? I'm going to print Jyoti or just Jyoti, right? You can see when you are calling this Jyoti, it's printing first session of DS, right? If you write more and more statement, let's say suppose I'm printing this second statement, so it will also print this second statement in addition. Define my function again, calling the function again, you can see it's printing the same statement here, right? So this is the simple statement where a simple definition, simple function where we are not using any variable or any constant terms. Sometimes we need mathematical background also. So what kind of background? Let's say I'm using Sachin function this time, and for this Sachin I'm going to use this x variable here, and inside the x variable I'm going to use x is equal to x plus 15, and finally return x, right? Let's run. This is called function definition. Let's see, enter. Now go back for function calling. So when you go back for function calling, so its function name is Sachin, and let me pass through this x, right? So whenever you will pass this x, you find this x variable, you will have to pass some real number. This is integer value. Let's say this is 25, right? So here you can see 25 plus 15 is 40. This will be printed on the screen. This will be your output, because you are intended to do this function add 15 to my number. If you will write like x is equal to x plus 10, and then x is equal to x plus 200, and run the code and run this code again, you will find 250 at the output, right? This is the pure simple definition, straightforward condition. Whatever statement or operator you write inside the function, it will return the same output, right? In another way, you can work, or you can accommodate more variable here. Instead of single variable, we can go for x comma y also. Let's say I'm going to replace x with y in the second statement, right? And we want to retain both the statement. That's possible inside the Python. When you are running this code and calling this function calling, so this will call the my Sachin, because and it will missing one required position, and it's going to display an error. Why? Because we are lacking one variable, and we are going to add this number, right? Here I'll have to provide two integer numbers. You cannot give mismatch numbers here. Like if we are having two arguments while defining your function, you will have to give two functions here. It's not you are giving one variable here, two variable here, three variable here, one variable here. No, mismatch is not allowed here, right? So I'll have to run this code again. You can see this 25 is 40, and this 18 plus 200 is 280. This is my function calling part, right? So any doubt till here? If we right, okay, suppose we need, let me define this one. Suppose we need this is any name. Let's say define def is the keyword for mine. So let's say this is any, let's say techlang, right? So techlang is user defined name, and we are providing any name. Let's say t is the time defined, right? Or inside the physics, you want to solve any quadratic equation, right? Let's say this is y is equal to 2 times t times t plus t times t plus 6, right? So this is your question in the physics. Like you will have to solve this equation, y is equal to 2t square plus 3t plus 6. This is our quadratic equation, and we need to give t variable, and this t is the independent variable, and y is dependent variable. Y is dependent on this right hand side equation, right? So we just define this equation here, and finally we are going to return outside this definition this y, which is the calculated part, right? Just hit run. So in order to get this output, I am going to print physics equation is, give me some space, and this equation is, let's say def, and will pass the value for my t. So t is, let's say 5 here. So for the basis of 5, this will be calculated, right? So let me give this here. So what will be the output? So let me give 5 here. Let me replace this 5 here. Let me give 5 here, and let me run this one. So if you run this y, so you can see 71 will be the value for y. So let me give this definition 5 here, and let me call this one, right? Def y. Oh, sorry, it's not def, it's a techlang. My mistake. The function name is technam, and it's going to print physics equation is 71, right? Can you see this 71? Instead of 5, if you want to replace this t variable, let's say 28. It's a very big value. Of course, you within a fraction of second, you are going to solve your physics equation. If you are giving any more than 4-digit number, so it's going to give that kind of answer, right? It's going to solve that. You just call this function, it will solve that purpose, right? I request to all of you that keep learning and keep asking questions, keep query, like keep having both kind of conversation, like what kind of question asked in the IT, kind of like this one, what kind of function do we have. If you find any problem statement, any code section anywhere, you can ask in this session, right? We will solve accordingly. We will learn with each other. Everyone is learning. It's not कि मुझे आता है तो मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा आता है. You people are learning concurrently. I am also learning with you people. Right? Come with the questions. Come with the interview sessions. Right? तो कि सर ये वहाँ पे क्वेश्चन पूछा था तो what the solution for this question? What can be the answer? What can be the optimal solution for this? Right?